Hey everybody, I'm Tiffany with Voices for Independence Fitness Activities, and I am here to share a really fun art project with you today. So we are almost halfway through September, and actually a week from tomorrow, September 22nd, is actually the first day of fall. I always love this time of year. I am so sad to see summer go, but after summer, fall is my favorite season, and here in Erie, Pennsylvania, it's kind of a short season. Sometimes fall can turn into winter rapidly here. This year we may be lucky and hold on to fall a little bit longer, but lots of time to get lost between summer and winter. And also with the calendar so busy this time of year with all the fall and winter holidays, I feel we miss out on fall activities sometimes. It runs right into Halloween and then Thanksgiving and so on and so forth. So I like to always start fall art and craft activities in my groups at Voices for Independence in the North Office this time of year, just so they can have time to enjoy it before you put those decorations away and get ready for Halloween and then Thanksgiving. So what we're gonna do today, let me move some stuff out of the way. I have some stuff that was gonna fall in the view of the camera. All right, what we're gonna do today is make this really beautiful fall luminary. So let me turn my lights off real quick so you can see it. So what we did was we took a mason jar and we used some tissue paper, and we made a paper mache on the outside using some Mod Podge, and then we used some darker tissue paper. I actually had black, and or you can use construction paper here. We made the silhouette of a tree with all the leaves that have fallen off. So obviously the background is a color of fall leaves, kind of giving the illusion that those are all the leaves as a tree is left bare. If you wanted to, you could actually make this into a Halloween piece as well, just by choosing different colors or adding different items to your piece. But we're making a fall luminary today, so I have a little candle in there. You can take either a real little candle or you can use a battery operated candle. When I'm in the office, I always give the consumers a little battery operated candle to go with their piece to take home, just because it's the safest, and lots of times in apartment and rental settings, you're not allowed to have real candles, which I typically use a battery operated ones in my own home as well. So let me turn my lights back on. I just wanted you to see the candle luminary we're making out of a mason jar. So obviously you'll need your mason jar. We're going to take the lid off it for now. If you want to put the lid back on it and use it for something else, giving away some fall treats, or maybe filling it with a delicious cake mix or something to give to a neighbor as a fall gift, you can do that as well. You're also going to need some tissue paper, which you can buy at the store, or if you're really into crafting and you like paper mache and you feel you're going to do a lot with it, you can order this pack online. It's very inexpensive, and you get a lot with it. So inside this package, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 packets of pre-cut squares. And in this pre-cut squares, it's wrapped up real tight, but they're all the colors of the rainbow, you can see. And it's pretty thick. And each of those colors is a packet of already cut tissue paper. So it comes out looking like this. So it's real fine and thin, already cut. You don't have to cut it, especially if you have difficulty using scissors, or you don't have the best dexterity, or you only have use of one hand and you don't have one-handed scissors available. This is a nice option, especially if you're doing a project like this and you're going to be doing it for a fall wedding and you need a whole bunch of centerpieces. This will save you time, and they're already cut to the perfect shape. For this project though, since we're doing it on a smaller mason jar, what I like to do is cut each one of these squares into fourths, just so it's a little bit smaller. But if you like this size, feel free to use the 2-inch 2x2 squares that come, I got these on Amazon. So what I have done, I have some pre-cut pieces here where I took those larger squares and just cut them smaller. Now, this is a simple project, so this is fun for all ages and all of crafting ability levels. We're just going to get some of that Mod Podge This is the glossy finish, so it'll give your jar that shiny finish. I don't know if it really shows up. It does a little bit, the light reflects off it. It'll give your jar that shiny finish once it dries. If you don't have Mod Podge at home, but you would like to make some, it won't turn out glossy. You'll have a matte or the flat finish, but you can also use regular Elmer's white glue and a little bit of water to thin it down, and that will give you homemade Mod Podge, only with the matte finish, they call it, not glossy. So I always just use my lid, and I'm going to pour a little bit of my Mod Podge right in there. This is something, again, you can buy online or you can get at your local big box store, any crafting store. I've also seen smaller versions of it sold at the dollar stores, Dollar Trees. So there's lots of places to get these. So this is a project where you have easy access to supplies. And your tissue paper can be any. You don't have to buy the fancy colored ones off of Amazon. You can just go to your local store in the gift bag aisle and you can find different colored tissue as well. Lots of times I'll save it when I get gift bags in the house for different gifts, or Cadence gets presents or for her birthday or such. I will salvage the tissue paper if it's not too crinkled up for projects like this and take it and recycle it at craft class. So what you're going to want to do is we're just going to do our background first. So with all our fun colored leaves, I did it all the way around. And then this black tree is just Mod Podged or glued over the previously set pieces. So I am going to work in a small section at a time. So you don't want to go in Mod Podge. Oh, I got some out already. You don't want to go and Mod Podge your whole jar because it'll dry before you get to the spot you want to work on. So we're going to work in, I like to work in strips. So I'll go straight down in one area, maybe about 3 inches wide, and just do the whole jar. And then I'll start putting my pieces on. I'll just randomly choose my colors. I like to use fall colors, but you know, fall leaves come in all colors. There's even purples and blues out there. So we're just going to tap them onto our jar. They'll stick really easily to the glue you've already applied to the container. You can put them in different directions, angles. You can make some diagonal or diamond shapes. You can overlap them a little bit, which will give it more dimension and maybe some darker areas as well. And you're going to cover your whole jar with this technique. So let me do a little bit. We'll cover this section so you can see what we're doing. Again, it's easy to work with. There's no way to mess this up. We're just putting it on. There's no right or wrong order to put your colors on or colors that you use. You can use any colors. If you just want to do all oranges and reds, you can do that. If you have other colors or a room that you want to match and you just want to do blues or greens, that will work as well. I just went with the fall look and the traditional fall colors that we typically see this time of year outside. So let me grab some more oranges here. And put that on. And once you fill your section up, what you're going to want to do is, not only did we Mod Podge the mason jar before, we're going to Mod Podge right over our tissue that we just applied as well. So there's a coating over the top. That's how you're going to get them to stick on securely without peeling off and get all those little edges down. And you're also going to get that glossy finish once it dries. Now don't worry, Mod Podge, it dries clear. So if it looks like it's white right now in different areas, it will dry clear. So let me just put one more piece on our bottom here, and then I'm going to go over it to show you what it will look like. Be careful when you're applying your second coat on top. You have to be gentle as tissue paper is so thin, and we've already gotten it a little bit moist from the glue on the bottom, so it can tear easily. So you don't want to go over the area lots of times. You want to just cover it and move on. And then once you have applied the glue on top, let it dry. Don't go back over it. You'll more likely to pull and tear your pieces that you've already glued down. So So it's simple as that. I like to go all the way down to the bottom of my edge, so when it's sitting on the table, it is covered from top to bottom. If you want to go up over the rim as well, you can do that. Just know it might be a little more difficult to get the ring back on if you want to use this for other reasons and want the lid on it. So I like to stop below the ring line so I can repurpose the jar if I want to store items in it and not just a candle. All right, so you're gonna do that all the way around your jar, and then to do the tree part, you can do it one of two ways. You can sketch it out on a piece of construction paper and cut it out. Construction paper is gonna be a little bit thicker, so you're gonna need a little bit more Mod Podge to get it to lay flat on your curved jar. But I just went ahead and used a dark colored tissue paper. You can actually buy black tissue paper as well. And I just started to piece it on and cut my pieces to look like a tree. As you can see, it's nothing fancy, but far away, it looks like a beautiful tree that all the leaves have blown off. So just start with a piece of square at the bottom. Maybe trim the top corners to angle it up a little bit to replicate a tree trunk that's coming up out of the ground. So we'll just cut our corners off there. And again, remember, trees are all different shapes and sizes, so it doesn't have to be perfect, equal sides. It can look any way you want it to look, and it can be misshapen as trees grow in all different directions. So I just apply that to the bottom, and we're gonna do the same technique where we'll put a little bit of glue down first or stick it onto the wet that's already there and then build up from that location. I'm gonna take a piece to maybe be the trunk of my tree, and then we can also add pieces that may look more like branches. So put a little bit of Mod Podge in the area where we'll be applying the trunk. And again, we are doing paper mache, which is overlapping as well. So make sure you're overlapping your pieces, and we have our tree trunk started. If you want, you can just make some branches to go off at an angle. So I'll add some branches to the top of my tree and maybe to the sides as well. So I'm gonna cut your pieces however you want. Be creative. Your tree can have as many or as few branches as you desire. We'll just add this one on right here, coming out of here. Maybe I'll add another one at the top to make it look more finished. And then that's all you have to do. Remember to apply one more coat of the Mod Podge over your tree to make sure all the branches are securely in place, and they will be coated in the clear gloss covering that will shine through when your candle is placed inside. So that's all there is to it. The start of our fall luminary. Here's the finished product. Again, super fun, simple, and inexpensive. These are great to put around your home this time of year. Maybe even get a scented candle that smells like fall, or give as a gift. I hope you enjoyed this project. I will share the instructions in the comments below, and give it a try. It's that time of year to start changing out for the holiday spirit, and fall is upon us, and then we go right into the other seasons. So enjoy this time of year with some fall favorite colors and spruce up your house. Thanks, guys.